Holistic medicine versus traditional medicine. So, my sister and I were diagnosed with cystic fibrosis at the age of a year and a half old. And we were really sick, very, very sick. I can't even imagine what it would have been like to have not even only one sick baby, but two sick babies day in and day out. If a lot of you aren't familiar with cystic fibrosis, it's a disease in the lungs, and people with cystic fibrosis create more mucus than the regular person, and they also cough a lot. So, lots of stuff in the lungs that is caught up, and so it makes breathing. It's a respiratory disease, and it's a disease that white people get, specifically for white people. So that's what my sister and I were diagnosed with. And it was very serious in the 70s, late 70s, when we were diagnosed with it. So, not a long life prognosis. And I feel super blessed because we weren't supposed to, if we made it past our teen years, it wasn't recommended that we had more than one or two kids. And even at that, it wasn't recommended because we wouldn't live long. And I am here to tell you, I feel super blessed because I have 8 children, and it's a miracle. Each one of those pregnancies that I had and carried is a complete miracle, and I'm so grateful. So yes, my parents did choose the holistic medicine versus the traditional medicine. So why? What's the difference? Well, the holistic medicine gets to the root of the problem. The traditional medicine was just going to treat the symptoms, but it's like putting a band-aid over it, right? Putting a band-aid over it and hoping it gets better. Well, we'll go try this and we'll try this and see if we can stop this. But oh yeah, you're going to have symptoms from taking this, this, and this, right? When we take pills and antibiotics, all this stuff, it just lowers and depletes the immune system rather than build the immune system, and it just wreaks havoc, right? And it doesn't get to the root of the problem. So herbal medicine gets to the root of the problem, and where my sister and I were born so sickly, it took years to get things to turn around. My parents worked so hard at getting our health in order. They were super strict, and we didn't understand it at the time, right? We're just little and our minds are young and we don't understand the hows and the whys. But I am so grateful for my parents that were dedicated, because that's what it took. It took dedication to stick us on this strict diet. So they ran into a holistic lady that said, hey, I can help your girls. They're not supposed to live very long. Let's turn that around. Let's see what we can do to get their bodies working properly and functioning good. Let's detox their bodies. So she brought methods into my methods and showed my parents of how to detox our bodies to get them into to build to so we could be able to start building up our immune system. So along with keeping us off of all dairy, all sugars, all and when I say sugars, I mean your refined sugars and your sucralose, fructose, all that kind of stuff, okay? Because those aren't healthy for you. But we get the natural sugars in fruit and things like that, and that's okay. Pure maple syrup, honey. But when I'm talking sugars, it means the processed sugars and the not so good for you. So no dairy, no sugar, no red meat, no white flour, and no food coloring. Those were the top 5 no-nos that she said to keep us away from. And so she taught different ways of helping to heal or to jumpstart our bodies and to get rid of the sickness that was within. So I remember having lots of mineral baths and a lot of the processes. I can't even name all of the processes that my parents went through. It was a lot. All I remember, it was miserable. Me and my sister would cry. We didn't like it, right? We didn't like it. But looking back, it's all the little things that added up that they did that saved our lives. And so I'm just here to let you know there are things that we can look at within our health if things are going on big time, especially if it's big, you've been diagnosed with something big, such as cancer or something very, very scary, it's so important to start looking at how we can nourish the body, what we can look at, what do we need to remove. Um, I have read several health books myself, not near as many as my dad, but I do know in my years of study that sugar and meat feed cancer. It will feed cancer. And so those are the things to take out of the diet. Now, I will get a little more into detail of how I've followed things. So, in my early childhood, my parents kept us on that strict diet, no red meats. In fact, they hardly did any meat. We ate meat once a week. And we shouldn't, as a society, be eating meat for every meal. It's heavy. We don't need that much. So they followed eat meat sparingly, kind of a rule of thumb. And we had very little meat. On Sundays, we always knew on Sundays we were going to have meat, and it was either chicken, fish, or turkey. So just one of those white meats or fish. That's what we got. Every Sunday we had meat. And it was just the one meal, right? But growing up, I ate lots of salads, lots of fruits, lots of vegetables, lots of foods that would feed and nourish the body. Green drinks, when they weren't even a thing, green drinks have been a popular thing in the early 2000s, 90s, or whatever, drinking vegetable fruit juices from these fancy juicers and stuff. But in the late 70s, early 80s, it wasn't a thing. And my mom made this stuff and she called it Jiffy Soup. It was the nastiest stuff ever. And just to get the horrible taste out of it, we'd beg her to throw a tomato in there to just kind of take the edge off. And it was just awful, but it was just things like that that were actually feeding and nourishing our body. So our society has ruined our taste buds because of putting all these chemicals and additives and preservatives into our foods. We don't even have, our taste buds need to be retrained. So I am all for eating more whole foods, introducing more fruits and vegetables and natural foods so that we can start fueling the body properly. And food has energy to it. If you take, scientists have even done it. If you take a whole plate of food and it's cooked food, think of your Thanksgiving dinner, meat, rolls, sugary salads, you name it, right? Just your Thanksgiving meal. And then they took a plate and had fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, raw nuts, and the energy that emits off of the plate of raw, fresh fruits and vegetables was huge. It was just beaming off the plate, just tons of energy off of it. Opposed to the other plate, the energy was next to nothing, no nutritional value in it. So it's so important to feed our bodies more of these living, fresh foods that will help sustain us and give us the health and the energy and the strength that we need to carry on through our days. So I am a huge advocate of fueling our bodies as best as we can with what resources we have, but start with fruits and vegetables, getting those fresh fruits and vegetables that you can get in. So do little bits. I challenge you to look at maybe what you're eating and seeing how you're feeling and just substitute one little thing at once. It was really harsh. They cut everything out of our diet and the whole family's diet at the time to back off on feeding our sickness. And so it was a hard thing, probably for my older siblings than us, because we were so little, we didn't know. And for themselves, that must have been quite the, cutting off of all these yummy foods. So it's you can't, some people are all or nothing, right? I kind of tend to be like, hey, if I say I'm going to eat this way, I'm going to eat this way, and I'm all in. But a lot of people don't have that willpower or are willing to do it. And just do what you can. Any changes you make for the better towards your health is going to benefit your body in getting stronger. So I totally advocate in turning to the holistic approach. Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. That is a saying from Hippocrates, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to repeat it again. Let food be thy medicine, and let medicine be thy food. And it is so true. So, hey, like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also offering a 12-week course. Oh, by the way, in my 12-week course, I offer tons of home remedies to help empower you and your family to become healthy and to lean into the holistic approach where it's more natural, no side effects. No side effects whatsoever, and it's going to help build up your immune system. So I offer over 24 health remedies that will empower you and your family in your household. And so that's along with that course of spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical healing. And it's a 12-week course. It starts April 1st and goes to June 17th. And it's a weekly one-on-one 15-minute call that personalizes your experience. And then we have a group training that's amazing. That's 1 to 1.5 hours long. And I share my journey of coming out of depression and suicidal thoughts, out of the mode of being angry all the time and bitter and resentful. And I went truly from being a victim for 30 plus years into victor. And I share the tools and techniques that were able to help me get out of it. And I literally believe these were tools that God led me to. And so I'm here to share it with you. And so invite a mom, invite your mom, sisters, friend, coworkers, neighbor, whoever, and have them come join you on this journey, and let's heal together. And by the way, when I say heal, we're not always completely healed, right? We all have stuff. We all have stuff, generational crap that we have. And so when I say healed, meaning tools to where we can implement them and live a happy, joyous life. So anyway, again, like and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you next time. Next time I'm going to integrate more into health and get a little deeper. So God bless. Have a great day. Bye.